Hey, what's going on YouTube? Aura Storm here with another video today, updating my Dark World, Fabled, Synchro, whatever deck for the latest ban list. Will say the deck was I'm pretty sad to see Tour Guide go, although I only ran 2 copies. Tour Guide was one of the best engines in the deck, but I think I might have found a way to get the list pretty solid. So anyway, let's get to the deck profile. I'm still rocking the 3 copies of Fabled Raven. Fabled Raven is your primary discard outlet, and you want to have this open with this ideally, and it sets up so many little zany combos like with stuff like Fabled Cruise and stuff like that. This card is probably one of the primary combo pieces, and it's a pretty nice, and it's also can in fact modify its level is pretty nice. Also in this video, I'm going to do a bit of a tutorial after I finish the deck profile. So still rocking the 3 copies of Fabled Green Row because you want to get this so when you control a Fabled monster, you can search with it. So by sending it to the hand to the graveyard, so that's pretty nice, and that's one of the reasons I really like that card. 2 copies of Fabled Cruise because this is basically your Gund, and like Gund, she activates even when she's pitched for cost, and that'll make more sense in a bit. 1 copy of Fabled Kushano because it's a Tour Guide target. That's one of the best combos of the deck is using this in Tour Guide because you can pitch cards, then pitch Cruise to add this back to hand and just have some zany combos. And that's all the Fabled lineup for the Dark Worlds. Sure, rocking 3 copies of Grapha, particularly with the Floodgates hit. This card is definitely necessary at multiple copies because it's a popping power and it's just crazy and it makes bigger pushes, and I feel that like it's necessary as a 3 of. Of course, it's Dark World, so we run triple copy of Snow. It's our Searcher. It's a 2K with the field spell on the field, so obviously, like, you want Snow in your hand. Then the normal lineup: 2 golds, 1 silver. I like this card because it sets up like a lot of level 8 synchro plays, and that's one of the reasons I really like these cards. And I feel like I would not play the deck without them. Rockin' triple copy of Brow still because it's not just that it's a Tour Guide target, but drawing in this deck, like, it's a lot about Dark Worlds are a lot about deck thinning. So having optimally, you want to have as much deck thinning as possible, and that's what Brow does. 1 copy of Beige. I think this card is pretty nice. It's just a normal summonable card, and you want to maximize those. Although I'd probably like to play BLS instead of this, but it's there. And the lonely 1 copy of Tour Guide. It's sad to see Tour Guide get hit, but Burning Abyss. I have a feeling she'll probably come back up eventually, but for now I'll be rocking my 1 copy. And the last 2 monsters are 2 Trance Archfiends because I really like this card in a lot of Dark World decks because when it dies, it recycles a banished target. A lot of times, so if your graphic gets Deep Prison, your graphic gets Bottomless, you just summon this, and then if it hits graveyard, you get to add Grapha back to your hand. So like, it basically, that's the main thing, and that's the pretty massive monster lineup, as you can see. So like, and now we're gonna get to the spells. 2 copies of Mass Change 2 because as you saw the Dark Law on the top of the, because you can do with this is you can target one of your Dark World or cards and then pitch Cruise from hand to special summon Dark Law or Koga, and then Cruise will activate when you pitch it with this. So you have to be pretty strategic when you use this card because you don't want to thin out your hand too much. But if you have something you need to get in the graveyard to set up future plays, like putting Grapha in the grave or getting Cruise to set up more combos, like it's a pretty solid card, and I really like it. And then we're getting to the traditional Dark World lineup: triple dealings, obviously, and then triple gates because you need to field spell, buff up your stuff. I'm rocking 1 copy MST because this deck still does not like stuff like Emptiness, Macro, Defisher, stuff like that, so you need that 1 copy MST to get rid of it. And then the 1 Allure because more draw power, deck thinning, etc. That's all the spells for the traps. 2 Mirror Force because this board, I like Mirror Force better in decks that are like, this deck is fairly OTK or bust, so like I like Mirror Force in those type of decks, plus people don't really see it coming still, I don't know why. 1 copy Dark Smog. It's another discard outlet. It doesn't really do well for me when I've found when I use it at multiples, but just banishing a card from your opponent needs from the graveyard and during either player's turn, that's pretty crazy. And there's 2 more 1-ofs, 1 Solemn Warning and 1 Eradicator. Solemn I'm kind of still a little bit iffy on, but it's it's a card I can use for certain matchups. And Eradicator is for those Necros and like back row heavy decks. I can just use this, tribute off a Grapha, and just clear back row. So that's the main reasons there. Now for the extra deck, rocking just one copy of Dark Law, one copy of Koga. Both these cards are good. In, like this card is just really really good when you can just your opponent has a really established board, and this card is just it's a one-sided macro. So I don't know why you wouldn't play these cards. Rocking one copy of Levier. This is the only rank 3 because I feel that among the rank 3s, maybe you could run Alucard as well, but this is still a necessary one of the best combo pieces as you'll see in my combo video. So I feel Levier is still a necessary card to play. Then I play 2 rank 8s, one Felgrand and one Heraldic Son of a Lord. Felgrand is when my opponent has like a... Felgrand is still a pretty powerful card against certain decks, especially Rogue, and Heraldic Son of a Lord doesn't target. So this clears off cards that say you can't target me, and this is basically just protection for my big beefy monsters. And that's all the rest of the extra deck is pretty standard from before. One Darkstrike Fighter. This card is not as... With the errata, it's not as good as I expected when I tested, but like you can still make this with the Grapha on the field, tribute off the Grapha, bounce the Grapha back, and push for more damage. So it's still a really nice card, although it's not as good as it was with errata. One Ancient Pixie Dragon. This and Darkstrike Fighter are probably going to come out when Moonlight Rose... I probably would run Moonlight Rose Dragon and Clearwing Synchro Dragon instead of those two, but this basically what it does is it can pop an attack position monster provided you could have a control of field spell, and when you activate a field spell you draw an extra card, and that's pretty key in a deck like this. One Dark-End Dragon for clearing off those annoying Bilzas of the world that you can't really get rid of without, and it does target, but just getting rid of them is nice. One Black Rose Dragon, nuking the board, obvious reasons. And then I play, I think, there's one more level 7. One Ancient Sacred Wyvern. I love this card. When I'm up on my opponent, there's nothing better than using Raven to make this and just pushing for an insane amount of damage. I really like this card in that for just OTK pushes. Then one Stardust Dragon, because Darkhole, Rageki, all those cards are legal. Said that quite a lot. One Thought Ruler, stacking your life points in a deck like this, even though gaining life points isn't as good, but this card is just being able to stack your life points in a deck like this where you make tons of pushes, especially combined with this guy, it's crazy. And one Crimson Blader for those high-level decks, and they're annoying. And then the last 2 synchros, one Leo and one Star Eater. Leo, I don't make it as much as Star Eater, but Leo's still a pretty good card because there are a lot of targeting effects running around, and Star Eater is just, their beefy beat sticks to go over big monsters. So, through the magic of editing, I'm going to get to the combo video real quick. Alright, so here we are. So, in this situation, I have a couple cards in my graveyard. I have Grapha and Raven, and I have Tour Guide in my hand. So, the first step of this combo is to go into Tour Guide and normal summon Tour Guide. And then Tour Guide's effect activates. I get to special summon a Fiend from my deck. So, in this case, it's going to be Fabled Kushano, because this is the key part of the combo. You want to go into this because then you can pitch. You can send Fabled Green Road from your hand to the graveyard to special summon to add a Fabled monster to your hand. So in this case, it's going to be Cruz. So you're going to add Cruz to your hand. Then you're going to have some random Dark World level 4 lower monster banished. So for this case, we're going to just say Beige is in the banish zone. So anyway, so we're going to do with this. We're going to use. We've already added, so we're going to overlay for Levier, of course, and then use Levier's effect and to detach Kushano to the graveyard to special summon Beige to the field. So we have Beige in the field now. So in order to get Raven out of the graveyard, we're going to use Kushano's effect to add itself back to hand and ditch Cruz. So now that we've ditched Cruz, Cruz's effect activates to special summon Raven from hand. So now we use Raven's effect to pitch Dark World monsters. Let's just say Gold, and Gold will special summon. Then we're gonna bounce their hand to special summon Grapha. And in this case, we also have the field spell in the field. So let me go and grab that real quick. So in this situation, we have a field, and now at this point we have a field of Levier, Fabled Raven, Grapha, and Gold. So I'm going to use Raven's effect to pitch, say, let's just say the Beige we just, so pitch Beige, and he'll special summon. So at this point, I'm going to Synchro Summon for 11 and go for Star Eater. So now I already have a pretty massive board, but I still have the Beige in the field, so I'm going to bounce Beige to my hand to re-special summon that Grapha. So with this on the field, I have far over the necessary amount of damage to go for game. So that's one of the main combos that I like to pull off. And in this situation, you even have the graveyard set up. You could have the graveyard set up for BLS. So it's a pretty zany combo when you do manage to pull it off. It's not the most consistent, but the fact that you with one card, Tour Guide, and a couple cards engraved in hand, you basically get a Star Eater, a gold, and a Grapha on the field for far over 8k in damage. Because even with just these three, that's 8k already. So anyway, guys, I'd like to thank y'all for watching the video today. I really appreciate it when people watch my videos. You should tune in on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. Also, if you like what you saw from this video, please subscribe and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/AuraStorm43. So Aurastorm signing out.